All right, welcome to this is video number 3 of the process. So this is where we're going to be getting into that, when you drag in your opportunities, when you drag a lead, you'll be able to have a contact card here. Once you upload a list, you have a contact card that goes from here, and when you drag it over to here, it'll automatically send the email to the right person and to the right vertical. That's the workflow that we're going to be working on right now. So what we want to do is you want to go down to automations like you did in the last one. You want to go into your folder for cold email manifesto, and this is where you want to create a new workflow right over here. And again, you're just going to start from scratch, very, very easy, and then come up over here, hit create new workflow. And now this is where it's going to be a little bit different. The trigger is going to be a little bit different, but your first action is going to be send email, because this is what we want to do, right? So we'll get into this email section after. But first, we want to hit the workflow trigger. So where this is going to be is when it's got to find it. Pipeline stage change. So you want to go all the way down here. You want to scroll to where it says opportunities. It's going to be in your opportunities section. So you want to go pipeline stage change. This is where you want to. This is which one you want to pick. And then again, you want to name it. So pipeline stage change to send email. So this is when we drag the contact card from the lead section into the send email section. That's what's going to do this. And then I'll just copy this and then name this one out up here the same. All right. So this is where, and then you're going to add filters. So filter 1 is going to be in pipeline. Cold email manifesto, and then pipeline stage changed to send cold emails, and then the next filter is going to be has tag, and then you're going to pick whatever one, plumber, right? So this one is going to be, they're tagged the plumber, and their pipeline stage is send to cold email, and they have a tag of plumber, right? What this will be is it has to hit all 3 of these to actually send the email. So this is how you separate it out to know for sure that it's going to send to the proper vertical when you create the emails specific to those verticals. So that it'll be in pipeline cold email manifesto. You'll drag the contact card into send email. So as soon as you drop it here and it has a tag of a plumber, it'll send the plumbing specific email, right? So that's what we want to do is you want to save the trigger. Now, where you would just come here and you would hit send email. This is where it's going to come into play. Remember the custom one-liner, when you're pulling that into the email. I'm going to show you how that works. So first we want to just be like, hey, and then we want to do custom values, contact, and then you want to put first name, and then you want to go the one-liner, right? So you would be like, hey, Tyler, and then you would go to like your one-liner. The custom one-liner in the book really tells you to go it's something specific about that person. So when they open the email and they go to read it, that line is specifically about them, and that's what makes the whole process work really well together. So make sure you don't skip that step of doing the custom one-liners. But remember when we created that custom field at the very beginning video, this is where this comes into play, right? So what we want to do is we hit custom values. We go down to contact, and then we come down to custom fields and see the custom one-liner. Oh, actually, it's behind me, so you can't see it. Let me drag myself out of the way here for a second. So what you would do is you go to contact right here, and you go all the way down to custom fields, and then the custom one-liner will show up right here. See, and then when you click that, it'll pull that custom one-liner that's attached to that contact card that you just dragged. It'll pull that one-liner in for you automatically, right? So I'll drag myself back over here. Just one second. Now, this is where you would write the rest of the email. So I just got a sample of like how the email flow would go. So I'm just going to, just one second, actually. I got to go over here. Go over here. So I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to come back over here, and we're going to create this. So where this is going to become is, so at the next line of the email, you want to introduce yourself. What do you sell? What do you offer? Again, I got to move myself out of the way because all that stuff's on the right-hand side. So right here where it says introduce yourself, what you sell, what your offer is. This is why it's very important to get clear on what your offer is, what you're selling. Is it websites at the beginning? Is it lead generation? What is it that you sell at the very beginning? It's very important to get that clear in this section right here. We'll go deeper into that in some other videos. I'll give you some breakdowns of like how to figure out and how to set the verbiage right for those types of things. Then the next thing is going to be your case study. Now, you might be thinking, well, I don't have any case studies. I'm new. I don't have any specific case studies made. So what you do is if you're using a white label supplier to actually initiate your work, what you would do is just ask your white label supplier if they can give you a case study for the specific niche that you're going after. So in this case, if I wanted a plumbing case study, I would just go and ask whoever I was using for a white label service to give me a case study. And you don't actually attach the case study in this point. What you do is you just speak on it. So we were able to give this plumber this amount of leads in this amount of time, which increased their revenue by this much. So something like that. You just want to give like a case study of another business you were able to help in that same vertical. And then you just say, hey, we'd love to chat more about it. Do you want me to send some times over that work for a call? Now, this is important. You never want to put your link in the actual email because A, it's bad for deliverability. So deliverability, the more links that they're in there, the more chance you hit spam. The other thing is when they respond to you to ask you for a time to book, that lead is typically more higher value. And then it also counts as a reply when you're warming your email and your domain up. So you want as many replies as you can get. That's very important. So that's why this is one very, very important thing. But again, all of this is covered in the Cold Email Manifesto book. So if you haven't read it, I highly suggest you go back and do that. Very, very important. These steps will make much more sense when the time comes. So what you want to do is have the email say, hey, contact first name. You pull in the custom one-liner, which will show you how to upload later. Introduce yourself, what you sell, what your offer is, give them a case study, and then say you'd love to chat, and then it's as simple as that. Now, you'll probably have your email signature down here. Perfectly fine to have that as well. No worries there. I just have this as a placeholder just to show you guys kind of the flow of how the email should go. And then that way you guys can start building them out yourself. So when you hit save action, oh, sorry, I got to fill this stuff in. So there you go. Hit save action. So now when it has a tag of plumber, right? It's in this pipeline. And I drag it to send emails, and they have a plumbing tag. It'll send this specific email. So you can actually have this as a plumber. So the other part that I forgot to mention, actually, that's kind of important, when you guys are doing your introduce yourself and what you have to sell to offer, make sure you mention the vertical in which you're going after, because that's what makes it personal to them, and that's why you would want to separate your emails and make them different, because you want to go directly and let them know that you serve them specifically. Very, very important. So, for instance, I would be like, hey, I'm Tyler Caldwell, CEO of Blue Collar Leads. We specialize in sending traffic and filling up the calendars of plumbing businesses, right? So it's very specific, and we serve plumbing businesses specifically, and you want to have that in the email, so it's very, very specific to that business. It works way better when you do it that way, and that's why we're separating these emails out. So then you would just come down, hit save action. So this one is done, so we'd hit save. Now it's very easy. Sorry, I just moved too quickly before it was done saving. So it's very easy to duplicate this process, right? So pipeline stage change to send email. I should actually have this as plumber on there. So we'll go back, change this, right? Plumber, because we know that this is a plumbing specific one, right? So hit save again, go back to the workflows. And what you guys want to do is just go over here. You just come over here to clone. And then you would just change this to your next vertical. So you go HVAC, right? And then create. And then you go in here. And the only thing that you want to really change is when you go to here, you want to change the name of it, right? To HVAC. And then you want to change the tag that it has to have is HVAC right here. Make sure you change this piece right here. That's the most important part. And then you name it tag HVAC, right? And then you would go into the email and you would change this obviously to HVAC. And then you go into the email where you actually says we specialize in serving plumbers. This one we specialize in serving HVAC. That way you have both of them in there, so you know that that's specific to their niche. So we know that they have to have the tag of HVAC before it'll send this email, so we know that it'll get sent to the proper people, right? And then you would obviously tagging HVAC, plumber specific email. We would have HVAC. Right, HVAC specific email, and then you would just save it, go back out, and then if you have another one like I do, I would just clone this one, and then right here I'd put roofer because that's my third vertical that I'm going after. Create, come into the roofer section, and then we would change this one right to roofer. Then we change this one right here, again, to roofer. Nope. And then we come here and then have this for the roofer. And again, we would save anything in the email that's specific to you. You'd want to change who you serve there in the email. And then obviously this is already changed. So now we're good here. And then we hit save on this one. So we're good on all of these. So now if a pipeline stage is changed, it sends an email to each one of those verticals, and we know that it's going to send the proper one because they also have to have the tag added for that action to happen. So that's that video. The next video, we're going to show you how to get set up the workflows where when they open or respond to the emails, we'll set those two workflows up. And so just go in there, make however many different emails you need to do for the verticals you're going after, and then set up those pipeline stage changed triggers. And then you should be set on this part, and we'll see you on the next video.